Hey guys, how's it going? Peent here with RAC Pictures, bringing you the SimCity quick walkthrough here. Smeg and I kind of debated on whether or not we were going to do a SimCity overview, and in the end, I guess with the fix of the servers and things like that, we decided to go ahead and do one. I'm just going to do a quick walkthrough on some things we found out and that aren't really explained in the tutorial. Some of the stuff I'm going to cover is explained in the tutorial, so do yourself a big favor and play that tutorial. So initially, when you start with a city, there's a few things you're going to want to do right off the bat. First, realize your mouse wheel zooms. You can click your middle mouse wheel to scroll around. You can also move to the edge of the screen. When you first log in, you're not connected to the road, so we're going to go ahead and connect our city. I like using medium density avenues. The problem with using streets, guys, is that you can only upgrade them to a high density street, which as you see has 4 lanes and nothing else. You have to then bulldoze everything around it and all of the street in order to go upgrade to an avenue. An avenue on its high density has a streetcar running through the middle as well as 6 lanes. So I would just go with mediums to initially connect your city. So here we are, we're connected. And there it recognizes that it's connected. The next thing I do right off the bat is I click on zones. I grab an industrial zone and I figure out which direction my wind is blowing. You can see my wind is blowing to the west, so my industrial is going to be up on this direction of my map because I want it blowing away from my city. I'm going to put just a little bit of medium density avenue running down the middle. Be careful how much you put because it is expensive. So, you know, if you place too much, you're going to find you run out of money pretty fast. Next, we're going to have some form of power and water. So I'm going to take a water tower and plop a water tower. Oh, this looks pretty good. 1625.9 kgals. So we're going to plop that there. They're going to want sewer very quickly, so we're going to go ahead and plop a sewer down. We'll do that here. And then, of course, they're going to want power. So I'm going to go with wind because it's cheap right now. And the wind is blowing that direction, so it'll actually work out nice to just plop it here. So now we have a power plant that's closed and hiring. The other thing that you can do is click these buttons down here. And these buttons down here are going to give you the option to bring up your speed from turtle to llama and then llama to cheetah. So that's a few of the options with the buttons down below. You probably don't want to continue using this form of roadway, and we have to have some residential. So I'm going to plop down some low density streets branching off from this. Let's just come down just a little more. Let's say to here. And then I'll place some low density streets just branching off and giving us the ability to get some houses going. So we're going to do some small squares. If you guys follow the recommended lines, you're going to find that you can maximize the density that you're using. So, you know, I'd be cautious making them much smaller, because you're going to struggle then with when you want to upgrade and make a higher density. So we're going to just go ahead and slap this up here. The other thing you can do is hold the control key, and that's how I circled that whole area, is just simply by holding the control key down. Okay, there we go. And you should see it start building up relatively quickly. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and speed it up now. Right now you see you're minus 280 an hour. I wouldn't let that concern you too terribly much at this point. You need to speed it up and then let things start to develop a little bit. The nice thing about these avenues is that you have the base for your whole city running right through the middle, so you can go from there. If I could give you another power plant's still hiring. There we go. Takes it a moment. If I could give you another small piece of advice, that would be take a look at your city specializations tab, go to mining once that gets approved, and see what your city has. You really want to check and make sure that your city has available, or that you're not building on top of ore and mineral deposits. Okay, so as you can see, people are moving in. They're saying, well, they've got good water, they've got sewage service. We're now up to plus 368 an hour, so that's good. You want to try to keep your residential homes a little farther away from these factories. The other thing I would caution you is as you build these factories, I really wouldn't necessarily build them in rows like this. Have space in between, or your ground pollution is going to build up fairly high. So just be careful with that. To the right of your screen, you've got your different maps. Here's an ore map. Now I got to this by clicking on city specialization and then mining. When I come out, I want to look around. Hey, there's some pretty heavy deposits of ore, and it's nice and far away from my city. So if I want to use this, I don't want to build a bunch of residential areas around this. Let's go ahead and take a look at our coal map. And here's a lot of coal. So there again, I'm already pretty close to it. So you got to be careful and figure out what you're going to do. And then via trade, you can see where the trade map goes once you start doing that. The other thing you can do is take a look at drilling, and I would take a look at your oil map, and lo and behold, I've got a giant deep oil well right in the middle of my city. Here's two more out here. So this is why you do this before you really start planning. You would go to your city specialization tab and start taking a look. Okay, so you see we're at about plus 944 an hour, plus 1,000. We have not used a bond yet, but if we wanted to, we would simply click here on the budget panel, and you could click on bond, and you could take out a bond. Now it says pay only $173 per hour. So while the total cost of the bond isn't bad, remember that that minuses $173 an hour. So you got to be careful once you start taking these out. Sometimes you have to take them out in order to move forward or to pay for something that your city desperately needs before it goes under, but just be cautious in doing that. The next thing they're going to complain about fairly soon on is going to be police, fire, and yeah, they're already complaining about a city hall. It's police, fire, and city hall. So if we take a look at the City Hall tab, we now have approval for a town hall. And we're going to slap that in, I say right here. Now we've got our town hall in, everyone's happy, yay. I'm going to go ahead and slap a little park down. When you choose your park, choose one that raises wealth. So here's one that raises medium wealth. And that's most of your nature parks. I'm going to go ahead and put a pond, and you can see the area it outlines. Try to take out the most minimal amount of houses. Here's good. And they're happy now. Let's name our city. Our city is named. Parks raise your land value. It also creates happy residential neighborhoods. So you can see where I've kind of zoned chunks of commercial area as well. So this is kind of your basic getting started guide. Again, early on, you kind of want to get a fire department going. Health is very important in this version of SimCity. You'll notice people get sick fairly quickly and start complaining about being sick right off the bat. So you're going to struggle with that a little bit, and it's fairly expensive to have a health system. So just be careful. It's 20 grand to start it, just like it's 20 grand to have your fire department. 400 an hour for the fire versus 400 an hour for your clinic. I would say the fire department's probably the first one you should build, because that will happen very quickly that you start running into fire situations. We're going to plop that there, and they'll be happy that you have a fire department. They're complaining that they want more jobs because our demand is, and you see the numbers going down here a little bit, but don't panic. It fluctuates kind of crazily. There was some complaints that maybe there was some problems with the design of the game, that it's fluctuating like that. I would caution to take a look, and they've tore down houses to upgrade them, and now you see it jumping up. So sometimes it's just a matter of giving it a minute to build up. When you do something like put a fire department or police department down, everyone's going to upgrade their houses. So the last piece of advice I'm going to give y'all is that if you decide that you would like to be able to play around with money and actually be able to enjoy SimCity a little more, I would remember that this isn't a game where you build up in 10 minutes and then you know, are done, or kind of wait for it to expand even more. The problem with that is that you're going to run out of money and you're going to max out your bonds. So take it kind of slow. We usually have other stuff going in the background, or we're doing other things at the same time. Let yourself build up money, and remember that whatever you plant down is going to take a while to start turning a profit. So, you know, don't slap down large purchases like an expo center and expect you're going to reap the rewards of that right off the bat. It's going to take quite a while for that to start turning a profit. The same goes for the gambling halls. For those of you that are into big money-making Vegas-style cities, your gambling halls actually take a long time to start turning continual profit. And you've got to have the tourist attractions and the ability to get the tourists into your city for those to start really making money for you. So I hope you guys enjoyed this small little walkthrough of the new SimCity. The friend features have been fixed, and a lot of the servers are easily available now to anybody. So if you have the game and have been had it on the back burner, or perhaps you even deleted it from your Origin account because you were so fed up with it when it launched, go ahead and reinstall it if that's what you want to do, and check it out, because I have not had any waiting issues lately. So please go ahead and if you like it, throw down some comments. If there's something you'd like to see us do, a specific city style, we'll give that a shot. Next time we'll get Smeghead on board, and maybe even Actatus, and we'll try to get you guys a little more of a review of SimCity on the bigger scale, with high rises and some nicer cities, and maybe even some better building and structural design of the actual city itself to maximize your population densities. So thanks for watching, and we'll see y'all later.